Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome along to week number 7. This is race number 12 and, unlucky for some, race number 13 to round off our season in spectacular fashion in a championship going down to the wire. Of course, the championship brought to you by the Rapid Drivers Club and sponsored by Vispa. Vispa, a company creating virtual experiences that feel natural, immersing you in a 3D multiplayer work environment where collaborating, brainstorming and team building are both productive and creative. Vispa, bringing you the tools to make work as enjoyable as multiplayer gaming, because Vispa realise that great ideas and innovations are never achieved by one single person. It always takes a group of people to create something beautiful. This is why the guys at Vispa want to be a real collaboration platform where ideas can be created, evolved and developed to be something more. And just like Vispa, Rapid Drivers Club is a very young startup-like group of people who just love to follow their passion and try to build something that people love. And we've certainly loved the last 7 weeks. And joining me as always will be Kane Dinham.
Good evening, everyone.
As we guide you through the closing chapters of this 7-week thriller, which has seen us at Brands Hatch, Silverstone, Donington, Spa, Snetterton, Oulton Park. And we're finishing up once again here at Donington. And a thriller it has been, with enough twists and turns to make Hitchcock himself proud. And here to take us through it all is my co-commentator extraordinaire, of course, Mr. Kane Derham. How are we doing this evening, Kane?
Yeah, I'm fantastic, John, and good evening again to everyone out there. Welcome to the final round. We are, as John said, here at Donington again for our second visit. 2 20-minute races, 1 reverse grid, and the final 2 races of the season. So we've had 11 bumper races so far, and John, the points couldn't be any closer at the top. Literally. There is only 1 point separating first and second place, John.
That is true. It is very, very, very close at the top of the table. 2 drivers, of course, that are standing out at the moment, Tom and Alex. Kane, if you wouldn't mind talking us through some of those points there, I'm just going to get the website up on screen. It is slightly changed for some reason.
Yeah, no problems, John. As you're saying, Tom Davidson and Alex Nunez proving all the display at the top of the table at the moment. 1 point separating Alex and Tom. So Tom's got the lead heading into the final 2 races here, but it's not a lead he's going to take lightly. As you said, it's only 1 point, and he will be starting from behind Tom. We know that in the second race from the qualifying throughout the week, so it's going to be a very, very interesting one to watch throughout the evening, John. Tom's got himself off to a little bit of a bumpy start this season, not as consistent as he would be hoping for, I'd say, but he's come through with a good 4 wins after that, and he's been involved in plenty of action through this later half of the season.
Well, yes.
Alex,
Oh, sorry, on you go, Kane.
yeah, no, I was going to say Alex, been the other side. He's been super consistent all season. So different strategies almost, but these guys, like we say, 1 point the difference.
Yes, indeed, and we honestly couldn't have scripted it any better if we had tried. I did say right at the start of the season it was going to go right down to the last race, and the race calendar has been fantastic, with iconic British tracks providing plenty of thrills and no lack of spills, Kane.
Yeah, and the drivers at RDC, John, really delivered this season as well. There's no shortage of action there, and they're giving us the tight finish we look forward to tonight. And let's not forget our special drivers, one of which you're itching to reveal to everyone, I know, John.
Yes, indeed, that's right. This evening we will indeed be joined by Sir Fosh. Normally seen, of course, in my beloved Porsche, but he finds himself this evening in the Porsche GT Cup car, the 2017 model, beautifully displayed by our drivers this season. And what a season it's been. The guys and gals are now on the starting grid with less than a minute to go until they get their formation lap underway. And there we can see Alex Nunes up on the front of the grid with Tom Davidson right along beside him. Rennie Renendito then, who's had himself a very, very, very good season. He's only 6 points behind Tom in the championship. He's going to start in third, and then Sir Foch. Let's see if we can get a slightly better angle on that. Nope, we're being denied. Not quite as good as the camera as last week. So Sir Foch, our guest, he's going to start in 4th position. Then we've got Harlan Hatter making a reappearance. He's going to start in 5th. And there's Johan Tai, who's definitely in the mix. He's only 3 points behind Sam Su. And we know that Sam has got some pace about him. Baz Tolma, one of the absolute regulars in the series, finds himself slightly down the table at the moment, but he will definitely be there or thereabouts come the end of the race. And then we've got Kieran Clifford. He's sitting in 6th at the moment. Now, he's 23 points back from Cornelius, our sponsor, who's 11 points back off of Wilkie. So he's got himself a bit of a gap, does Cornelius. Kieran, though, he finds himself only a few points ahead of Sam Su, who's just ahead of Johan. And there we go. And there is, of course, Sideways Wilkie making an appearance tonight in the Deutsche Post. Wilkie definitely in the mix, only 6 points behind Renendito. Renendito qualifying clearly ahead in 3rd at the moment, so that's going to be an interesting one. Further down the table then, and the man had connection issues and wasn't able to race due to a 12-hour engagement, but has seen out the rest of the season. That is, of course, homeschool racer Pete Greaves. Finds himself down in the table and very, 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 very close in points to the drivers around him. He's got Jackie Harris just ahead of him on 143 and Alaric Hensler on 149. Alaric obviously not racing with us due to the injury. Hope the recovery is going well, Alaric. So Pete, but he does have a 30-point gap back to Chris Davies. Baz is on 110. Harry Webb not racing. Volcan, of course, will be with us tonight. And there's Jason Westaby, who again is right in the mix in the middle of the table, only 5 points behind Kyle Harris, who will be seen in a moment. There's Cornelius Filbinger, as I mentioned, our sponsor, only qualifying in 12th for this race, but 5th in the championship, so we'll be hoping for a charge in race number 2. We will see an interview with him halfway through. Yeah, should make interesting viewing. And there is Kyle Harris, of course, one of the founding members. He's qualified in 13th. He's only 2 points behind Johan and 5 ahead of Jason Westaby. So a great little battle there at the back. And there's Chris Davies, as I mentioned before. Jackie Harris so far making all the races. Fabulous to see Jackie once again in the Michelin livery. And right at the back of the grid for this one. So we're going to be starting on the front of the grid. This will be interesting. Sam Su, someone that has actually won races in this series. So it will be interesting to see how it plays out for Sam. Going to be an absolute fun one. Renendito's in the pits. What's happened there? There you go, Kane. We've not even started and I'm already answering the questions before I asked them. We're coming into the last 2 bends here at Donington.
Yeah, huge news there for Rennie at the start of this race, John, as they head to the last corner on that main straight. It's not going to be ideal for his championship right now if he's going to be starting from there.
No, did someone in the opening say more twists and turns, enough twists and turns to make Hitchcock himself proud? So there we go. Rennie Renendito. It's an ill wind that blows nobody some good, and that will certainly blow Tom, Elliot Wilkie and Cornelius some good as they come to the start-finish straight. They're going to cross the line. Alex Nunes and Tom Davis, main championship protagonists, are going to lead the way, and they are off and running. Green. Oh, all kinds of movements in the background. It looks like Pete Greaves has got a handful with Cornelius there, but it is Alex that maintains the lead from Tom. Renendito obviously starting in the pit. Sir Foch then promoted to 3rd as we see them coming around the bend. There's Harlan Hatter, Johan Tai getting involved early doors. Well, Baz Tolma then, that's a 3-way situation. Let's get this one from above as it comes sneaking through into sector 2. Oh, and look how close he's getting there. Right in front, that's Harlan Hatter then, one of the gentlemen that has shown some severe pace while he's here, and he's getting all kinds of involved with Sir Foch then. So that's the battle for 4th at the moment with Renendito starting in the pits, but it's a battle for 1st then. There's absolutely no space whatsoever between the top 5 drivers, I'm going to say. So very, very close there indeed. Let's see who is still running on the pits. So Jackie Harris is at the back. Pete Greaves looks like he is about to get himself involved. He's got Cornelius Filbinger just in front of him, and that is telling me Porky Pies. That is Cornelius just ahead of him. It is indeed, so we're going to have to wait and see exactly like the timing board update. That's Kyle Harris that we're on board with then. He is right in the middle of this little group here, Kane. Very clean, quick opening lap, and it's all action all times. There we go then. Harlan Hatter looking like he's having a go at Sir Foss, so reputations be damned. Harlan is here to have a go for the top 3 here, Kane.
Yeah, absolutely, John. Volker and Ty getting a little Johan Ty, sorry, getting a little slow off the start. He's lost 2 places early on. Same being said with Pete Greaves. He's lost a couple of places off that first lap too. So these guys just settling into their pace now, and yeah.
Yeah, they are indeed. They are indeed. There is Cornelius. He is all over the back of Kyle Harris. Look how close he's getting. And I tell you what, he's got Sam Sue right behind him. So Sam Sue started at the back, finds himself up in 12th place already. So it looks like he has removed the sandbags from the back of his car during the qualifying process. And I tell you what, he is looking very lively indeed in the rear view mirror of our sponsor Cornelius. Oh, he has to take avoiding action there, and I tell you what, that is let Sam Sue nip up the inside, and it's going to be a side-by-side there, so Kyle heavy on the brakes to turn into the corner of the driver's behind. Whoa, and I tell you what, there Cornelius has given way there, realise he's got a much quicker driver behind him, so he's just given that position up, I feel. Looks like it. Cornelius may well tell me differently in the interview at half-time, because obviously it's live. There's Pete Greaves then, dropped down a few places. So's Chris Davis, Jackie Harris, Renadito started for the pits. Of course, the reason they've all dropped down a place is Sam Sue has made up several places indeed. Harlan Hatter, though, this is the battle. This is what we need to be watching, I feel. It is the battle for the podium then. And it is Sir Foch, our guest driver, normally seen, of course, in the Ferrari, covered in his Pepes, I believe they are called. He is flying the flag for guest drivers. It's great to see a championship be so inclusive. Even when there's a championship title on the line, we're still bringing in everyone that wants to race at RDC. So yeah, if you want to get involved in the racing, of course, Rapid Drivers Club is the place to do it. But enough of that, Kane. On with the action. It's good to see as well Elliot Wilkie, big shout out, now known as Sideways Wilkie on Twitter. Love the respect shown, and he's definitely going for some more sideways action again this week, Kane, and it is all being performed beautifully under the rear wing of a good friend of both of ours, Kieran Clifford in the Parafulu Racing. So Elliot having some more fun in the Porsche here.
Yeah, he's just getting those tyres a little bit grassy on the exit of that corner behind, as he does push up the back of Kieran at the moment. Elliot does have some pace in that Porsche the later half of this season, John. It's been great to watch that thing get all sorts of sideways, that's for sure. Harlan Hatter still stuck in this battle with Sir Foch and Tom here. No one going anywhere here at the top of the group. Alex just extended that gap, just 3/10 in that lap there, so we'll see what happens at the end of this straight here as all these guys pushing behind. Yeah, very, very tight in those Porsche. Hard to get those things planted early and on the gas, so
yeah,
tyres still a little bit cool at the moment too, John. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, yeah, getting the power down in these things is it's a talent all on its own. I would say it's fair to say, and yeah, with the tyres 3 laps in, there is a prime spot, I've been told, and it's not much of there is a small window of opportunity that these ladies and gents have to get these tyres at their best in these races. We'll tell you what, Squirrel, there is Sam Sue. He has got past Kyle Harris, so we've missed that there. So Sam has done the move on Kyle Harris, and he is now chasing on. There we go, boards update. So Kyle then back to having Cornelius Filbinger tucked in beside him, and there is Homeschool Racer ever so slightly closing that gap there. So the battle ahead of him is going to bring him right back into it, and I'll tell you, that'll bring Chris Davies into it as well. But as the battle up front, I fear we must watch it as Alex Nunes then off and running. Tom Davidson just coming through the foreground now, coming into the foreground now. That is Sir Foch, and attached to Sir Foch's rear trailer bar in the Porsche, because of course Porsches have trailer bars, it's almost as if he's attached on a bungee. It is Harlan Hatter all over the back. So I wonder how much of a switch it is. I don't know if anybody's in the chat. I can't see the chat.
Oh, that's so fast.
Oh, he spun it. Sorry, Kane, on you go. I was looking someplace else, so tell me what you saw there, bud.
Yeah, we talked about getting the power down too early, John. I think he's just gotten a little bit over keen there, and yeah, power down a little bit early and spun that thing all the way back around. He's going to fall well down the field there. Wait for these timing boards to update and see exactly where Seth Bosch has ended up in that.
Yeah, he is dropping. Is he down? I think he is. He's not in fifth, surely. I don't think he is. Oh, he might be. Yes, he has. So he's held on to fifth then. So he didn't drop. We were expecting a big plummet there, but that just shows you the gap then that these front 4 or 5 had over the rest of the field. But it certainly brought them back into play. Elliot Wilkie has got the move done on Kieran Clifford then. We missed that one. I'll bet you it was a sideways tyre screeching spectacular. But there was a battle going on up front, so we missed that. So Kieran now down to 7th. He's now being reeled in. Black Falcons, Johan Ty, and I tell you what, they're all being reeled in by previous race winner, a man that's going to start on the front row of the grid in the second race. That's Sam Sue. He's now up to 9th here. Jason West in 10th. Cornelius in 11th. Pete Greaves is in 12th. Chris Davies is in 13th. Kyle's down 14th position. Renadito's up to 15th and Jackie Harris in 16th place. Let's see the battle at the front though. It looks like the guys in first and second have realised it's stretched out a bit behind them, so they are now going to have a little battle by the looks of it.
Yeah, it looks like Harlan Hatter may have just been caught up in that little mistake by Sir Foss, John. That gap there, Harlan to Tom, 4.5 seconds now. Looks to me like a bit of avoidance action. And we see, so how far back is Sir Foss? Another 4 or 5 seconds there, so good 9 or 10 seconds lost by the third place driver in that third lap there. Big news.
Yes indeed, so it was going great guns for him then, making his guest appearance here in the Rapid Drivers Club for this race tonight. Going great guns for him, clearly on a podium and seemed more than capable of battling for it, but we just finished talking. It almost feels like Curse of the Commentator once again, Kane. Just as we were talking about the window of opportunity that these tyres present on these cars, Sir Fosh, of all people, highlights beautifully how easy it is to light those bad boys up and send yourself off in a nice pirouette into the shadow realm. So Sir Fosh still hanging on in 5th place though, and we do have the reverse order good to go, so it's going to be fantastic. I mean, I think it's clear to see the pace that the top 5 had there. Those are the boys and girls starting at the back of the grid for the second race. It's hard to contain the excitement sometimes because we have seen some crackers so far. The championship is going to absolutely go down to the wire at the moment. Of course, it is game, set and match in the hands of Alex Nunes. He does have a 1-point lead over the man in second place, which is Tom Davidson. This will extend that lead ever so slightly, so it will come down to the very last wave of the checkered flag from race 2, just as I smugly predicted 7 weeks ago, Kate.
That's right, John, and Tom needs to get past Alex in this race at some stage to really turn that race 2 battle on its head and make for a great race as always. Just a little news on Sam Sue. I believe he did not qualify this week, so with no qualifying time, Sam will start from the back of the grid in both races. Well then, I apologise profusely and would like to retract my sandbagging joke and disparaging your good name, Sam. Sorry about that, bud. But yeah, no just see a back marker be avoided there, John, by Tom. So something's gone on there. One of those cars.
Jackie Harris, Mitchell and Livery.
There we go. Jackie Harris getting that thing going, as always, finishing every single race this season. Jackie Harris has.
Yes, indeed.
Quick hello to everyone in the chat there. John, Jixer GT, evening. Sir Foss checking in on Twitch here, saying hello and a big good luck to everyone.
Please, wait, is that why he's
hand typing the other? Possibly.
That's possibly,
Chris Springbrook in the chat too. Rapid Drivers Club in the chat as well. And those cars now into the pits, looks like Jackie Harris, John, so there'll be a little bit of damage there, causing that lap down in the end. And Smouse07, much love to you too. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, indeed. Yes, thank you to everyone in the chat. I can't quite see the chat yet. I will. Oh yeah, it's too late now, so I won't see it. Yeah, so we'll get Kane keeping us up to date with the chat. Of course, YouTube and Twitch. Look how close these are getting. So Harlan looked like he had all the pace then. He was very comfortably keeping up with Sir Fosh until Sir Fosh dropped it, loved the back tyres, had himself a pirouette. Oh, and he's up the inside. What a move by Bartoma. Look at the drag race these two are having. And he's got it up the inside on the left, and absolutely he has a wiggle on the way out as well. So even getting the moves done, still these tyres are lighting up and keeping the drivers very, 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 very much on their toes. As we can see, the steering wheel inputs required to keep these things on track. We're on board then, of course, with Harlan Hatter. This is the battle for the last podium slot in race number 12 of this 7-week series, and it's Harlan Hatter who has just been overtaken by Baz Tolma, and it's Baz who's off run. You can see the extra inputs there on the steering wheel drivers every corner. Snap oversteer, snap understeer, just and there we go, as soon as you get the power down, that extra bit of wiggle just to straighten the car back up again, get the power down as early as we can. You can see that at the moment it is Baz Tolma who's got the bit between his teeth. He is off and running, holding on to third place here, and that'll do his championship the world of good. Someone still on the charge though. He is closing the gap, and he has set the fastest lap of the race. In fact, no, he's not. Sorry, fake news, fake news, fake news. 12 hundredths of a second separates the fastest lap from these two drivers, and it was Alex who posted the slowest lap last time round. So it is Tom who is on a flyer. He will be looking to capitalise on the slow lap by his competitor. Oh, Cornelius. Let's get Cornelius on camera time. He finds, oh, Pete Greaves is ahead of him. So Pete Greaves has got the overtake done there. How did we miss that? But I tell you, Cornelius is coming fighting straight back then. Our sponsor extraordinaire, of course, in our interview between the two races. And yeah, he's having a look. He's having a think about it there, Kane. But battles all the way down the field. We did mention Pete wasn't able to compete in all the races due to technical issues and a pre-arranged 12-hour engagement. But he scored some fabulous points so far in the brand livery, looking fabby. And he could have his hands full here defending from Cornelius.
Yeah, absolutely. Cornelius, as you said, we've just missed a little off there, possibly. A little mistake by Cornelius in sitting behind Pete Greaves again, but he'll be looking to get that gas back down and on his way. Sam Sue definitely on his way. He's just made his way past Kieran Clifford. So he's all the way from 16th up into 7th now. He'll be chasing down Elliot Wilkie next. So yeah, Sam Sue, massive charge through the field already this race, John.
Yeah, and speaking of massive charges, look who's about to re-engage with Harlan Hatter. Baz Tolma, hear you say? No. The driver that dropped it early doors, Sir Fosh. So it looked like early doors that Sir Fosh didn't quite have the pace that Harlan had. Harlan was all over the back of him, seemed slightly quicker at the time. Sir Fosh dropped it. Harlan then, and perhaps some tyre issues, he has been very quickly reeled in by Baz Tolma, who is off and running, not quite extending the gap at the moment, but certainly comfortably holding on to, well, as comfortably as you can be in these cars. But it's Sir Fosh then who is closing up very, very, very quickly indeed, and he is lapping at a commensurate pace with the guys and gals up at the front. Cornelius then, oh, he is very close, and there's Renan Dito who came out the pit gate. So it's all coming together here in the closing 5 minutes of race number 12. Up the inside, sorry, you go again. Yeah, up the inside, talk us through this. Ooh.
Yeah, but Cornelius there just running the curb to avoid any contact with Randy, as Randy did throw it up the inside. He's going to try and go around the outside here. He does, so slightly cutting there. Cornelius said he's spun it there. Cornelius has done well to avoid him. Obviously, yeah, he's have to lift there and avoid it, but Randy spins it, and all that hard work has gone down the drain, John, as Cornelius is back underway, and he'll be looking to catch back up to Pete Greaves after that little battle with Randy comes to an end.
Yeah, we're going to call that a code brown. That was a fantastic save. And we've got battles now, so Sir Fosh still trying to hang on in there, catch up to these two guys ahead of him, and they're doing exactly what he needs. They are battling for, oh, and I tell you what, Doesn't quite give as much room as he thought he would there. Holds the line beautifully then, does Baz. And there we go, let's jump on board. Once again, just have a look as we see in the rear view mirror just how close the Porsche is.
Tom Davidson closing that gap in front too, John. He's going to within half a second of Alex, so just under 4 minutes left to go.
Sorry, I had a big wiggle there, Kane. Did you see that coming out of the penultimate hairpin there? You had a big old wiggle, did Tom, but he's still very much in. Oh, Kane, where do we look? Look at this battle here. We've got Johan Tai in the gag. That's Kieran Clifford, Elliot Wilkie and Johan Tai all battling for position. We've got Nunez and Davidson who are battling for position. We've got Tolma, Hatter and Sir Foch battling for position, Kane. I'm just going to lie down in the darkened room because I can't handle this much excitement on a Saturday night. Talk me through who do we watch at this point, bud?
Yeah, we need a wider view of this helicam, that's for sure. The start of the end of this first race, John's really turned it on. Tom Davidson just dropping off again for Alex now, but we know that's been yo-yoing backwards and forwards. These guys also, Baz Tolsma, Harlan Hatter.
It's a drag race across the start-finish line.
Yeah, Cornelius. Going to try and go around the outside here of Pete Greaves. Definitely got the speed on him there, John. It looks like that's done. He's going to try and hold that inside. And Cornelius pulls just in front and gets that move done. He's going to have to keep his brakes here in this tricky right-hander to really finalise that move. But looks done and dusted now. Cornelius up and away again with Jason Westerby just in front. 7.5 seconds,
So yeah, we did think there was going to be some battling in the middle of the pack. I tell you what, Baz Tolma says, Harlan Hatter says, excuse me, cameraman, can I get some more camera time, please? So it is Farbin versus Deutsche Post, Tolsma versus Hatter. At the moment, Sam Sue and Kieran Clifford are ahead of Sir Foch. Sir Foch is down to 9th position behind Johan Tai, sideways Wilkie. Kieran Clifford then up to 6th. Sam Sue is only up to 5th position, Kane. This is going to throw the cat amongst the championship pigeons, that is for absolutely sure. So Sir Foch really not getting to grips with the car the way perhaps he would have liked, and a couple of perhaps self-inflicted mistakes there. He finds himself down in 9th position, but what a battle that was shaping up to be between him and Harlan once again.
Yeah, we'll see that definitely take place again in race 2. Sir Foch learning from a couple of those little mistakes. We'll be looking to keep it a lot more on track next race, but definitely proven that guys having the practice in these Porsches proving to be very, very valuable. These stars.
Oh, sideways.
Not easy. That is more than sideways. It's got that thing all the way drifting around the corner there. It takes a little bit of grass with him.
I'll tell you what. Takes a bit of grass, and he has increased Sam Sue's heart rate by tenfold. I can assure you of that. Oh, and there's action in the background. There is action in the background. That is sideways Wilkie and Johan Tai battling it out then. It is indeed, and there we go, moves being made. Kieran Clifford just up ahead of him, so he will be more than happy to see his competitors battling out. Of course, Wilkie got the move done on Clifford. Clifford managed, I'm thinking there may have been a stray car across the track which has caused all kinds of carnage. It's just too much to keep up with how close the battles are. 13 seconds between second and third, 17 seconds left to go, so this will be the last lap for our drivers. Alex Nunes then stamping his authority in the championship. He will extend his 1 point lead to 3 or 4 points going into the last reverse order grid race. Tom Davidson violently putting up a charge in the championship. He's violently put up a charge on track as well. 1.4 seconds behind. He'll be looking to get it done in race 2 when he starts ahead of Alex. Baz Tolma then came from no place. He's taken 3rd position, and Harlan Hatter, the man who was battling for 3rd position early doors, now finds himself in a position he could be lucky to hang on to 4th with the ever-charging 11th place making Sam Sue. I think he's definitely trying to get himself a special award. There's Kieran Clifford down, running in 6th with Elliot sideways. Wilkie going sideways with Johan Tai, looking very, very, very keen indeed to keep an eye on that position and perhaps take it back. Sir Foch then down in 9th with us in his opening guest appearance. And there's Jason Westerby in 10th with Cornelius in 11th, and now got himself a clean bit of air behind him to Pete Reeves in 12th. And the leaders finished the race, and I'm going to get sacked. Yep, so that was slightly quicker than I thought. So Alex Nunes, he takes race 1 and extends the championship lead. This is going to be fabulous in reverse order. Tom Davison takes second. Here comes Baz Toma to take third, with Harlan Hatter hanging on in there. Drag race out the last corner for 4th place with Sam Sue. Keenly looking over to try and take that. There's Kieran Clifford crossing the line. Sideways Wilkie, he is in 7th with Johan High finishing in 9th. Sir Foch is going to come across the line in 9th position. Jason Westerby going to get himself a beautiful 10th in the Team Parker Racing livery. And there's Cornelius Fulwinger, our sponsor, we're about to hear from in a quick interview with he's in 11th with Pete Reeves hanging on to 12th. There's Rennie Renendito, started from the pits, finished in 13th. And here comes Kyle Harris, of course, brother of Jens and one of the founders of the Rapid Drivers Club, finishing in 14th position. Chris Davies finished in 15th, and Jackie Harris coming home in 16th. What an opening race that was, Kane. Certainly going to put the championship cat right among the pigeons.
Yeah, I cannot wait for this race too, John. Tom Davidson's really got his work cut out for him. And they go, as these guys gonna have to move through the field, starting from the reverse of the grid. So cannot wait for that. But what a battle. Sam Sue, massive race from him already, having to make his way through the field. He's going to have to do that all over again. He wants some more points from race 2. Alex Nunes, but he's got one hand on that trophy already, John. 20 minutes left to go.
Yes indeed, yes indeed. We are now going to bring you, while the guys are jumping into the other server, we're going to bring you an interview. Yes, it is myself, and I'm interviewing Cornelius Fulwinger, one of the founders of Vispa. Straight after the interview, we'll be back for the deciding race. See you all soon. Good afternoon, one and all, and welcome to a special meet and greet as we get a quick chat with not only one of our racers, but a founding member of Vispa, software for remote collaboration in 3D virtual spaces, and are a company proudly sponsoring this event. It is Cornelius Fulwinger. How are we doing today, Cornelius?
Hey John, I'm very good, thanks. It's a great day, it's sunny outside. I just came out of a race, and yeah, I'm happy to be part of the series and to be sponsoring it as well.
Yep, and yeah, a great showing so far, comfortably inside the top 10, so going great guns in the series so far. Have you always been a sim racer?
No, to be honest, like most of us, I'm one of these pandemic sim racers. I started last year. I've always had the dream to own a sim rig and to race. Played all of these Need for Speed games when I was younger, and yeah, last year I thought it's time for a new hobby. Started to get my first equipment, and yeah, immediately fell in love with it.
Oh, yeah, and definitely a passion. Yeah, I've fallen in love with it myself. The equipment, that is always a slippery slope, as I well know. How was your equipment path marked out, Cornelius? Did you start with the big guns, or did you start small?
Oh, I started like everyone else with on the Logitech G29, or is it G29?
G29, yeah.
And then it was the regular journey. Once I found out that it's something that I want to keep doing and to pursue more serious, I upgraded to Fanatec gear CSL Elite and got myself the foldable playseat challenge. But right now my next step, the next chapter has begun, and I'm right now transforming my basement storage to a full sim room.
Oh, excellent.
And I'm actually just waiting until my aluminum parts arrive to build a proper rig.
Oh.
So there we go.
Aluminium rig, I like it. So yeah, so how are you finding the cars in this competition then? As you being a sim racer, you've obviously got some experience in these cars, do you perhaps, or completely new to them?
Yeah, I mean the Porsche Cup cars are something else, to be honest. Previously I really enjoyed the Ferrari, but I think it's the Porsche Cup car is as twitchy and difficult as it is. It's a great car to improve your overall skills. It has become a love-hate relationship. Can be a lot of fun, but it can also be very frustrating. But especially on the British tracks, it's a challenge that is fun to tackle, and it's fun to kind of fight with others in these volatile cars.
Volatile. The politically correct word there. I like it. I like it. You mentioned the Ferrari there. Excellent choice of car, the 488. What about tracks? Which tracks stand out to you? What's Cornelius's go-to for a nice leisurely Sunday drive?
Yeah, my go-to track and my all-time favorite track would be, to say it in your words, and I, of course, like everyone else, I hate Paul Ricard a lot. But also, like the new tracks that are being added to the game are always a lot of fun, and I find that you learn the most by like driving on tracks that you actually don't like, because I think with a lot of practice you start to fall in love with every track, and that's a great thing to mix it up and not just hot lap around Spa.
Yes, well, there is something to be said for that. So you're a man of excellent taste, Ferrari 488 and Spa, which is handy because you do have another passion in life, one I'm going to get a ribbing for here. But yeah, please do tell me, you are a bit of a coffee addict, I believe.
Yeah, absolute coffee addict. And it's similar to sim racing. Once you start with a new hobby and a new passion, you kind of enter the rabbit hole, and I've entered that rabbit hole of like specialty coffee a couple of years ago. And yeah, it's a great thing to enjoy every day, to really use as a little active break throughout the day. Get some good beans from a local roaster, brew them perfectly, and enjoy the result, and have a few minutes of quality time.
Nice. Well, I am a fan of coffee myself, but it is only a Tassimo we have, so we're going to quickly gloss over that and move straight on to Vispa, Cornelia. So, tell us, how did your company start?
We started a couple of years ago. We were a very young tech startup from Stuttgart, Germany, a city that is actually most known for Mercedes-Benz and Porsche. But we discovered a major problem in the way that people collaborate in companies, and we are now trying to tackle that problem together with an awesome software that just brings a lot of engagement and playfulness and a little bit of gaming into the serious business world. And we're 5 founders. We're good friends. We've known each other for a long time, and we share the same passion. Most of us are passionate gamers, and that's if there's one thing I would suggest to everyone who wants to start a company, I'd say go with people you really enjoy to spend the time with, because those are the people you will spend a lot of time with. So we've got a great group of people and a great team, and looking to develop Vispa in something very important in the future.
Yeah, there's 5 of you, I believe, various backgrounds, all friends and affiliates, as you say. So it is a great fit for RDC, and it's easy to see where the company ethos and idea came from, given that you're all gamers, and it's transferred itself beautifully into the business world. And it's, of course, an ethos that your company just embraces itself fully, as you are pretty much a completely virtual digital company yourself.
Yeah, we've got, not only due to the pandemic where everyone started to work from home, but also all our employees are not all based here in Stuttgart, Germany. They're placed, in several countries, and we basically just want the people with the right mindset and the right skill, and they can work from wherever they want. And that's basically what Vispa stands for, because that's a tool that Vispa is made for remote work, remote collaboration. So why not live the same principles?
Indeed, indeed, and embracing growth. Embracing growth. Sorry, it's certainly something that's encouraged and achievable with your remarkable software. I've been in there with my co-commentator Kane. I know you came in and gave us a personal tour, and it's quite simply stunning. The collaboration and the way the system works. It is, yeah, it really is mind blowing.
Yeah, it's great to hear that. Thanks for the feedback. And yeah, I think for everyone who's into gaming, it's very intuitive, and those are probably the people who will enjoy it the most. And yeah, since our start, we have been growing rapidly. Still growing, we were able to gain the attention of a few large corporations who, yeah, just like you and Kane, immediately fell in love with Vispa. And yeah, we're hoping to add a lot of users and companies to that list, and yeah, grow as a company and have a big impact on the business world with it.
Yeah, and you did mention there some big names on board, obviously Kane and I being the largest, but you do have some pretty big international corporations that are already on your list, Mercedes being one of them, so that must be very proud as a Stuttgart boy for the home team to be jumping on board with the home software, and some large telecommunication companies as well, so that must be a great bolster to yourself and the company, knowing that you've got these big guys jumping on board with your software.
Yeah, it's definitely a great boost. The thing with innovations is always you at first you gain the early adopters, the innovators, and if you get a big partner very early, that's always helpful. And even if it's also like partners from the telecommunication side, that can also be very helpful if you want to scale your business, to have these tech partners on board. So yeah, good time so far, and yeah. But despite that, we hope that soon everything will go back to normal. People can go to work normally.
Of course.
Don't have to work from home, but yeah, even then, Vispa will be very important if there's just teams from different locations working together. So yeah.
That certainly does. It certainly does. And speaking of the pinnacle, which you have reached, as you say, with some of these and having the sim racing team of Kane and I on board, will we see Cornelius at the business end of the table come the end of the RDC British Porsche Cup Series?
Well, I think there's one race left now. A top 5 finish could be possible. The absolute top is reserved for the more talented drivers. But I think first of all, the setup with the points for every person in the race was absolute fantastic.
Reverse order grid.
Yeah, and reverse order grid, of course, so we can see how close the top of the table is. That's really fantastic, and I bet it's great to watch as well. And also with prizes for the top 3 finishers and some separate categories for most fastest laps and most overtakes in the races. I think there is enough incentive for everyone to give their best throughout each race. And yeah, we're happy to be a sponsor. It's a good time to say thank you to RDC, I think, for having us, for letting us be involved. And yeah, we're looking forward to more championships, more maybe single make series. And yeah, I think for everyone watching, there's a lot of great races coming up for RDC. So if you're not already on our Discord, join them, sign up for races, and yeah, have fun with us.
There indeed, get signed up and you could be crowned Vispa Racecraft Master, which comes with a title and a prize. Well, Cornelius, thank you very much for sparing us the time today, giving us a run through your company. If you haven't done it already, folks, vispa.io, get onto the website, check it out, get signed up. The software is phenomenal. And as Cornelius mentioned as well, RDC Rapid Drivers Club on Discord. Get involved with the racing. Cornelius, you need to go and jump back in the car. You've got a race to take part in, my friend. So we will see you on the track, and fingers crossed for the big point finish, and all the best with your business endeavours going forward.
Thank you very much, John. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Cheers, folks. Good night. And there we go then, an interview with Cornelius Filbinger, of course, very proud sponsor of Vispa. And talking of very proud, Kane and I are very proud to have a special guest joining us in the commentary box for race number 13. It is the founding father himself. We're here to ask him many questions, including what made you get Kyle involved. It is Jens Harris. How are we doing, Jens?
Hello, how are you doing?
Go. I'm good, Jens. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Very good.
It's been a fantastic event so far. You must be very, very, very happy with the way things have gone, especially with the championship going down the wire like this.
Yeah, we've spoken about it before. Whenever we first started this thing, we wanted to make sure that the series was competitive with the community, and we wanted to, in order to maintain that sort of competitiveness, we wanted to make the scoring very close for everyone that finished, everyone that was involved, and that has kind of led us to this position where we have two or three drivers actually before the first race that were very close to each other going into the final race.
Yes,
Yeah, that's
sorry, Kane, on you go.
absolutely. Yeah, just gonna touch on that too. Like Jens said, those points and the way they're allocated has led us to this. There's only 2 points difference now. Jens, with the points, Alex Nunez winning that first race, 2 points clear of Tom. So Tom's going to have to finish 2 or more positions above to take this championship away from Alex in the final stages. So it is a fantastic format you've got for us, Jens, at RDC here. It's been great to commentate on, that's for sure. And these guys giving us plenty to watch all the way up until the end.
Yeah, and that's it. That's going to be the interesting thing, you know. If it had have been just a normal race with Alex and Tom up the front, it could have just gone sort of like Alex's way, because Alex qualified first ahead of Tom, and then Alex could have pulled away. It could have been sort of like a Hamilton-Bottas sort of situation, you know, if you refer that to F1. But now we've got this reverse grid. We don't know how it's going to go. We don't know who's going to finish as high up as the other. Like, Alex could have an absolutely terrible time, get taken out by one of the slower guys, or get held up by the slower guys while Tom disappears into the sunset. It's going to be really, really interesting.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. Speaking of interest, of course, that live interview I just did was fascinating stuff. And getting on board with Vispa as well. Yeah, it must have been very happy with that.
Yeah, we've been really lucky. When we started this community, we managed to pull in quite a few guys that had the same sort of like feeling that we did. Last year, it felt like there was a lot of elite leagues and elite esports teams starting up, and there wasn't really much scope for the slower guys. And we ended up just sort of like getting together. You know, there was a load of guys in different leagues, and Vispa just ended up being, and Cornelius, ended up being one of those guys. And with his company, we've been able to get this league and series up and running, and have some interesting prizes at the end of it, which is great. It's great for us because it doesn't cost us anything. It's all coming out of the sponsor's pocket, and it's great for the drivers as well. You know, they've been here for 13 races. They've put a lot of time and effort into this, and the guys that actually have worked the hardest, are going to get something out of it, which I think is fantastic.
Yeah, it certainly is a fabulous format. Vispa, of course, very proud sponsors, and the drivers, I'm sure, absolutely loving all 13 races. There may be a bit of therapy involved for some of them, given some of the ups and downs, but certainly it has been a more than fascinating 12 races so far. I mean, the championship so close as they come around the last bend. It's Chris Davis and Jackie Harris that will lead the way for the final time, but it's very difficult not to watch the back of the grid, given that it's where the shakers are. It's green light, and really go. Cornelius gets a great start, so does Kyle as well. They're very quickly catching up with Jackie Harris. Tom Davidson, he is battling for position. He's gone up to inside of Pete Reeves. He's going to be, Renendito has spun, and that's held up Sir Foss then. So he is straight out of the run, and it's Tom Davison who is away and running. And I tell you what, Alex Nunes has dropped back in position, so this is the sweet spot there. I'll tell you what, Tom Davison has done exactly what he needs. He's got 2 cars. Oh no!
But
Ah, there we go, Kane. We were just talking pre-start of the race there. It was going to take a perhaps an accident, and there, the racing gods have smiled down on Tom Davison here.
Yeah,
Laughing.
Huge disappointment for Alex Nunes there. John's going to have plenty of work to do, trying to catch up with everything there. Very interesting to see what happened there. Alex must have back in the field now, so not good at all. Still 18.5 points left. Let's see what Alex can do. But yeah, Tom definitely got his one hand on that track now. Rest of the race. Tries to go 3 wide, takes the inside, gets it done. It's living on the edge there by Tom.
Oh, Pete Greaves makes contact in the background then with Sam Sue. Was that Sam Sue? It was either Sam Sue or Harlan Hatter. Where's Harlan Hatter? Harlan Hatter's still running, so Pete Greaves making a bit of contact there, so that's brought Sir Foss back into the pack then. He's caught back up, and so has Renandito. Whoa! Oh, curse of the commentator there. I was just about to say, Renandito's got himself ahead of Nunes, but Nunes is going to get straight back in front. So that's Renandito. He potentially had a charge on there, given he was only 7 points behind second and 8 points behind third. That would have been a gift of second place for him, but it's not to be. So Kyle then, same place as Brands Hatch, finds himself in the lead of race 2. Can he hang it in there till the last lap this time instead of dropping at the ends? This must be painful viewing for you, seeing your brother leading the race here.
not really, because you know he's going to wreck it. You know, there's going to be some point where he drops the tyre onto the grass, or he sticks his lead foot onto the loud pedal, and he's going to spin. So it's literally inevitable.
Fantastic. Do love the brotherly faith. That's exactly how I would be. Oh, I'll tell you what, that's a lot of faith on the brakes. Oh, Davidson looking for a move. Oh, and we see a bit of tyre barrier there flying across the track as well. Fantastic stuff as Davidson trying to get a move on the Parafluid driving Kieran Clifford. He's going to find himself very, very close indeed to camera. Taking a little bit of time to catch up there. Let's get a helicam of this as Davidson. Oh, getting very, very close indeed. Filbinger then, our sponsor, he is up in 4th position at the moment. He's watching the battle between Tolsma, who had a great race in the second. Oh, and Wilkie's taking the lead. Wilkie has taken the lead, not even a lap in, and Jens' prediction has come through. Jens, you've got a future in comedy, my friend, because Kyle has got himself a bit of a dusty tyre, and he has dropped it into 2nd place. And I'll tell you what, Baz Tolma has no second thoughts for who founded this organisation. He is here to get himself a higher finishing position as he can, and I'll tell you what, Kyle is fair game at the moment. Baz showed some incredible pace in the second half of the first race. He is now right in the slipstream then. Talk about getting close. He really is looking lively to take 2nd position. It's going to weaken the guys behind, i.e. Tom Davidson. He is getting very, very, very close indeed. So it does look like Tolsma has much more pace than Harris at the moment. Filbinger will be watching, of course. He'll be looking to close that gap, and Davidson is closing that gap at a horrifying rate of knots at the minute. Kieran Clifford then hanging on to 6th position at the moment, and Sam Sue involved in slight contact. He is in 5th at the moment, and who is that car there? That's Johan Ty. Yeah, oh, Sir Foss, sorry. Sir Foss is up to 9th, and Pete Greaves, after being involved in the contact, he is in 10th place. So it's all action, Kane. The battle for the podium is still on, but the battle for the championship, it looks like, is all over, with Tom Davidson in a commanding 6th position and more than enough of a gap.
I think Kyle has just spun there.
Oh,
Kyle just spun in the background.
Yeah, and Cornelius is just getting himself all kinds involved. Tom Davison has got the move done, not only on Kieran Clifford, but he's gone side by side with Sam Sue as well. He's gone round the outside, and he's following Cornelius through. So Cornelius then, now the man in 3rd position. Sam Sue is pushing on, and Tom Davison is now, is he up to 4th?
Tom up into 4th, John, yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Updates just being made now, so all the way up into 4th. But Alex, not too far behind. He's only in 10th. It sounds like a lot, but he's only going to make up a few more spots there, and plenty of action in the middle of the pack there, so don't
Oh,
count
Davidson
that
side
out
by
there.
side with Cornelius again. Oh, right up the inside. Absolutely
There we
annihilated
go,
him.
so
Look at
tough.
that at the apex.
Tom not mucking around at all. He's wanting to get this done as early as possible, find some fresh air and keep it clean. So he's doing exactly that. Sam Sue's made his way all the way through the back of the field again, John. And so Fosh with that early spin, that early incident at the start, kept him back a
Kieran gets
little
a bit
bit.
of grass.
Yeah, a little bit too much there. Any sort of grass is too much in these Porsches. Really lights those tyres and makes it very difficult. So that's
Yeah, interesting, Kieran, if they've got like a politically correct term to use to describe these wrist-wrecking machines. They certainly keep you on
We
your
do know
toes.
one driver who absolutely loves getting it sideways, and that's Elliot, John. He's out in front, half a second to Baz at the moment still. So Elliot not swaying from that driving style. He's getting that thing all sorts of loose again, and Baz is all over the back of. So this is going to be very interesting coming through this section now.
Yes, it is. Oh, I'll tell you
Oh.
what. Oh, he's run all kinds of wide. He's run all
There we
kinds of wide. And
go.
Baz Tolman then, he will be looking for his first race win down in 18th due to a mixed bag of results for the series. Or Davidson then. Tell you what, sideways Wilkie has got in all kinds of sideways now because Cornelius Filbinger is watching the battle unfold with Tom Davidson. Now the man, very, very, very close indeed to sideways Wilkie. We're going to have to see side-by-side action for Davidson to get past him. And well, there we go. Look at that, cursing the commentator right there on Wilkie. He has lost 2 positions before we've got to the time of boarding. Davidson then sails back up to the 2nd spot on the podium. What an absolute charge he is on. Nunez has making it back through the field a bit. He's ahead of Greaves, Harris and Hatter. He is up to 9th but nowhere near enough to hold on to this championship. He's got 12 minutes to perform. Miracles really, because he's got to get past Sir Fosh in 8th, Johan Tai in 7th, then Kieran Clifford in 6th with Sam Sue in 5th. Is he in 5th? Is he going to get a move done on Cornelius Filbinger, who's currently in 4th? Sideways Wilkie is hanging on for a podium. Come on, Sideways, you can do it. Tom Davidson is in 2nd, and he will be very quickly looking to close the gap on a man who's having an absolutely great race weekend this weekend, Kane. That is Baz Tolman. 2nd half of the first race, came alive and got a podium, and I tell you what, he's looking good to hang on to a podium in this race as well.
Yeah, if he keeps his Porsche stuck to the ground in the 2nd race, John, he'll be very, very happy with the end of this season. He's going to have his work cut out for Tom Bard in 2nd now, so he's up into 2nd. Elliot back in the 3rd. Cornelius is going to be pressuring Elliot now as well for that podium position towards the end, but still got Sam Sue, Sir Fosh still there as well. Alex Nunez, you can see more places change there in the last half of this race. Cornelius has got a whole lot of rear vision ahead of Sam Sue in the background now, so he'll be in mode at the back of. We've got that nice extra barrier on the left there. They've brought the track in a little bit with that extra tyre barrier, so
making it more interesting from themselves. Kieran
yeah,
up the
like
inside. Kieran Clifford, what a move up the inside he's made. Somebody's got the stream on in the background. Make sure you turn that down, please. Thank you very much. Or, perhaps I should just stop shouting. That would maybe help. It's all kinds of action back here. Then Sir Fosh getting himself all kinds of. I tell you what, heavy on the breakout. Actually clenched all kinds of body parts there. It looked like there was about to be some serious contact. So Kieran is the man in the middle here with Johan Tai just in behind him, and Sam Sue, who we've seen make up 11 places in the first race. I tell you what, this will wiggle from Johan. Sam Sue will gobble it up, so Sir Fosh will be watching this keenly as well. And Tom Davidson, it would seem remiss as we missed the winner crossing the line in the first race. We should maybe keep an eye on the man that's likely to win this race. No disrespect to Baz Tolman, he had a great first race to get himself on the podium, but Tom Davidson is absolutely alive this week. Hasn't won nearly as many races as you would expect for a driver that's made it this far in the competition. Has won. Sorry, it's Alex that hasn't won a lot of races. I'm getting myself that excited. I'm looking at the notes the wrong way around, but it is Tom that's looking to take another victory and seal himself this championship in style. So there is a battle going on there. It's still very close as well. Tucked in here is Sam Sue then, who is ahead now of Johan Tai. He will be pestering Kieran Clifford Once again, Kieran will be defending if he can, looking to hang on to his 5th place here. This will be one of his best finishes in the series so far, but Sam making very short work of that, taking the apex very cleanly indeed.
Alex up one more position as well now, John, so six positions, that gap between Tom and Alex for the championship. We know that needs to get to less than 2 for Alex to have a joint championship with Tom. So,
well, that is one of the things we talk about, this difference, Kane. For anyone that hasn't done the maths, if they finish 2 places apart, they will finish on exactly the same points, and it will then go to a count back on the number of wins, which would give Tom the championship. So that is how cruel a mistress sim racing could be. Alex could have lost the championship on the count back of wins, even though he hasn't won many races at all in the series. He does find himself battling for the championship. It just shows you what clean, consistent driving can do in eking out results. Almost like a football team having a bad result, having a bad race is all fine as well, as long as you get yourself some points at the end of it. And Alex has certainly done that, and he's trying to do that again, back up to 8th position after some unfortunate contact in the opening stages of the race. Cornelius is definitely still pressing, so you see the extra tyre barrier there, provided by some early antics. Cornelius is definitely showing a bit of pace here on Elliot Wilkie. We'll see a bit of sideways action from Elliot coming around the corner. Of course we will. There we go, little double tyre light up there. Cornelius is definitely looking to close that gap then. He has done fantastic stuff in the championship himself. Finds himself fighting for a top 4 finish against the man just ahead of him. That is Elliot Wilkie. Not many points between these two, so it'll be fascinating to see. Oh, sorry, 11 points. I do apologise, I looked at that the wrong way. It's 6 points between Renendito and Wilkie. So Wilkie will overtake Renendito as well, who's had a couple of unfortunate races here as well. So the championship is properly going to be all changed at the top come the end of this one. Still plenty of time to go then, as Cornelius finds himself defended valiantly. Sam gets dust on, gets a bit of curb on the way in. Cornelius obliges by getting himself a bit of curb on the way out of the corner. Looking to catch up to Elliot just in front of him. But this battle could see Elliot hang on to this 3rd position. Would be a great podium finish if he gets a little bit sideways. Cornelius very, very, very close indeed. Sam Sue is now getting 11 places he made up in the first race, and with 231 points he was a fair way back, but he could certainly improve his championship finish massively if he could get himself up ahead of Cornelius, who of course, as I said, is battling for a top 4 position. Oh, look how close the 2 cars get in there.
Sam wants that spot.
Oh, he really does, doesn't he, Jens? They're battling right through the field here. Everybody wants to battle for every position right down to the end, and it's brilliant to watch.
Yeah, you can even see even further back down the field with Pete Greaves and Randy Renendito and Safoch. They're in their own little battle further back as well. These, because of the reverse grid, it opens up these fights all through the field, and it's absolutely fantastic fun.
Yeah, it really is, and the drivers are certainly having fun out there battling for every last position. Oh, Sam goes right up the inside then. Is he going to make this one stick? It's going to be interesting to see who breaks. Oh, I tell you what, Cornelius is held on. Sam is tucked back into position. Elliot not able to take advantage of the guys battling just behind him. Kieran Clifford then in the background gets a little bit sideways, and he does have Ty and Nunez just behind them. Both of those guys in the Black Falcon livery. So Foch very close to Renendito, so we've just seen having a bit of a spin, but as Jens pointed out, these 3 are very, very, very close to one another indeed. As we can see from Renendito's cockpit, and let's just see how much steering Chicane is involved in keeping the pace in 2017. Oh, look at that curve. So Foch not as quick through the chicane there. Renendito very, very, very quickly goes around the outside. Has he got enough pace?
No.
What
a move.
just rolled that up as well. So Porsche capitalising, John. These guys really putting it on display for the final.
Oh, they
Final
really
race
are.
of the season. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it really
Tom
is.
Davidson 3 seconds in front now. Alex Nunez in 8. So looking very, very difficult indeed for Alex. Needing to gain another 6 positions now. 7 positions now. So very, very tough pill to swallow for Alex after doing so well throughout the whole season. But yeah, these guys at the end, so Porsche getting lively as well. Super, super action.
Yeah, he'll be keen to get himself a top 10 finish. Alex Nunez, as we mentioned, he is in 8th. He has closed the gap massively. And at some point, Johan Ty has managed to get through. Of course, Ty and Nunez were the drivers behind Clifford. But Ty has gotten himself ahead. Come on, cameraman. There we go. He has gotten himself up into 6th at the expense of Kieran. So he's down from 5th to 7th with Nunez. We're going to make back another place. Of course, as Ken said, it is all in vain, but he will still drive it to the very, very limit to get as many positions as he can. Tom Davison now 4.5 seconds to the good, off and running with less than 4 minutes to go. So the lead and the race and the championship will be safely sewn up for Davidson. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th and all the other positions, they are definitely all going to change. Baz Tobin then in 2nd after the great first race. Elliot Wilkie is still hanging on there to that 3rd position, and Cursey, the commentator there. Sam Sue reared it inside, and I tell you, Cornelius will be looking to close in. So there we go, Jens. That is exactly what we call Cursey, the commentator here. As soon as you say a driver's doing well, Sam's proper sideways.
Well held. Is he held it?
That thing.
Oh.
No. Looks like a bit of wall action there too, as well. Unless he's got a miracle out of that, he's definitely headed towards the wall. All sorts of out of control. So
Alex has got the move done on Clifford. So the Black Falcon boys are back behind one another once again, but this time it is at the expense of Kieran Clifford. He is in 8th position. So Nunez up to 7th, still won't be quite enough. 6th, sorry. He is up to 6th, so still not quite going to be enough, but he is certainly good. What a fight he is putting up right to the end. 2 minutes to go. But, I mean, seriously, is he going to get ahead of Johan and Cornelius, do you think?
He's going to do all he can to, I know that.
But if anyone's going to do it, honestly, it'll be Alex. He is so fast. He is so consistent. In every single race that I've ever raced with him, he is always the person that will do the things that you'd never expect possible. So if somebody's going to do it in 2 laps' time, it's going to be Alex.
Yeah, and once again, I was going to say, Kane, it's literally of like a 10th of a 100th. So, oh, there you go.
Well, there's one.
Oh, Johan's pinned it. Yeah, sorry, Ken, I keep interrupting you there. So Johan has pinned it, so there's one more place for Alex. It's now the sponsor he's after. Surely he's not going to do it to the sponsor on the last lap.
1 minute left in the race, John. Yeah, up. What a race from Alex. He's, to get his head back down after the disappointment at the start, to just get it through the field as he has been one huge effort. So yeah, Alex definitely high on my list of drivers for sure, doing all he can to get this thing back. But Tom, 5 seconds to the goods, like you say, of Baz, who's had a fantastic week. Dixon mentioning in the chat that Baz got a win in the WTCR event this week, so he's making the most of that good fortune and grabbing another position on the podium. So big shout to Baz there. He's had a great week.
Yes, indeed he has. Harlan Hatter then carrying some damage. He has done well. There we go, the leader is on the final lap, and that is Tom Davison, so he is going to secure the series. That is Harlan going to secure 12th position. Hugh Creeves, and we were talking about this, Jens talked about it, Kane talked about it. The reverse ordered grid, every position gets points up for grabs. There's battles all over going into the last lap. There's no way we're going to be able to see everything that's going on, so we should probably say hi, well done to Tom Davison, and then we'll track down everything else that's going on because there's drivers all over it. Kyle has got himself ahead of Sir Fosh then. Oh no, he's not, sorry. Sir Foch has just got the move done on Kyle. So Sir Foch making up another place there. At the expense of Kyle. It is Alex getting very close indeed then. Very close indeed. Sideways Wilkie must have a real sideways eye on his rear view mirror, because I tell you what, that is not what you expected to see at the end of this race. Here's Cornelius Filbinger and Alex Nunes battling in the background. Kieran Clifford hanging on in there at the back. Sam Sue is up to 7th position, but it is indeed going to be game on here. Can Alex make the final charge? Davidson then, oh, he's just coming around the last corner now. Oh, he's just coming in to the last hairpin. So Davidson will win the race and the series. Toma is in second. Oh, Alex has pushed just that little bit hard. I'll tell you what, he's just made a little mistake there. So it is Davidson then, crosses the line, first position, race win number 5, and he will be proudly crowned champion. Second place in tonight's race, it was Baz Toma, and third there comes Elliot Wilkie, of course, sideways, and let the donuts in. Whoa, there comes a Kieran Clifford missile, love to see it. Straight into Cornelius Filbinger, the sponsors being shown no love tonight. Why is the camera tool stop working? I can't flick between the drivers. There we go, there we go. Oh, now it's jumping every place, and there we can see red cars every place. So let's just get the result from the screen as we watch everyone pile into Cornelius. Everyone get Cornelius. Go on, do donuts on Cornelius, brother. So Tom Davison did take first, Tom took second, Elliot took third, Cornelius took fourth, with Alex Nunes valiantly back at less than 3/10 of a fourth place to finish in fifth. Well done to Kieran Clifford and Sam Sue, 6th and 7th, with Brennan Debo making it back to 8th. Johan Ty finished in 9th, and our guest driver this week, Sir Foch, finished in 10th. Kyle, brother of Jens here, finished in 11th after his brother predicted him getting on the grass a few times too many. He lived up to his brother's prediction, so good luck for Christmas dinner, you two. After Kyle, we had Pete Greaves in 12th, Haran Hatter in 13th position, Jason Mesmy in 14th, Jackie Harris in 15th, and Chris Davis in 16th. They could barely get it out there, Kane. What a race that was.
Absolutely, John. Huge congratulations to Tom Davidson, series champion of the RDC British Porsche Series here tonight. Massive effort from him. Found himself 2 points behind leading into the final race. Did have himself a position lead over Alex to begin with, but made the most of it for Alex, getting getting amongst the incidents there at the start and proving all the difference. But yeah, massive congratulations to Tom for the championship victory.
Yes, indeed, a very consistent championship. Bagged himself plenty pole positions in qualifying, and bagged himself enough race wins and enough points. In fact, set 5 of the fastest race laps as well, and I think he took at least another one tonight, based on the lap times that I was seeing on the telemetry app. So an absolutely fantastic championship brought to us by Rapid Drivers Club, and of course Vispa. Cornelius doing well as well. He'll have finished in the top 5. Sideways Wilkie going great guns as well. And battles, Jens, you must be, unlike I mentioned it before, but you must be very proud. You put together this championship, and we've seen battles all the way right until the very end. And yeah, quite frankly, just amazing stuff that people need to go back and re-watch, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I think it's been absolutely brilliant. I think I'll definitely be one of the guys that goes back and has a look at all of the races. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to take part in all of them, but the drivers have been absolutely fantastic. Vispa, the sponsor, has been brilliant, making sure it was backed the entire time, and the drivers have something to fight for. Broadcast team themselves, yourself and Kane.
You made an impression then.
yourself and Kane have been absolutely brilliant for all 13 races. It's been a pleasure to watch and be part of, and I hope we can do something similar in the future.
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely. Been a pleasure to be a part of as well, Jens. So yeah.
Yeah, it has been. It's been great fun. And you've read that word for word, Kane, so make sure you write the check properly, okay? Good lad. Good lad. Well, ladies and gentlemen, and race fans alike, that was 7 weeks and 13 races, never to be forgotten, for the good and for the bad. Some of our drivers, as I mentioned earlier, will probably be seeking some therapy for the spa. But yeah, good fun, and it's been, as I say, a monumental pleasure to guide you through the season. Kane, I'm sure you feel the same.
Yeah, absolutely, John. We've said it once, we'll say it again. It's been an amazing season. 13 races, the format, the tracks, the car selection. It's been fantastic. The champion, Tom Davidson, again, huge season for Tom. Poles, race victories, fastest laps. He's had them all, and a very, very deserving winner indeed.
Yes, indeed. Unbelievable events and a roller coaster of emotions, just like most of the tracks, have led Tom Davison to be crowned the champion. So it's left only to say thank you to Jens.
Thank you.
Quick thank you, of course, to Vispa, the sponsors. Massive thank you to the drivers. Massive thank you to the viewers and everyone got involved in the chat. Sorry I didn't get engaged in the chat, but there was so much on-track action. I don't think you could perhaps fall out with me for that one. So thank you to everyone, and of course my more than able sidekick, Kane.
Yeah, John, thank you. Massive thank you to Vispa. Thank you to the Rapid Drivers Club as always. It's been a pleasure. We hope to see you all again soon.
Indeed. So, on that note, it is a good night from Kane.
Good night, everyone.
A good night from Jens.
Good night, mate.